Hello everybody on the old computer machine. How are you doing today? So let's go into it. I've got some things I have been waiting on for a while. First and foremost is the feeling of wanting to make another video. You know, sometimes you have everything you need to make the video. And, hold on, I have a cat. What do you want? You want something? This is River. And she was playing with the back of my leg. She wants some attention. So there she is. She's a good girl. Yeah, so I have these toys. And there's sometimes you have everything you need to make your video, but you just don't feel like doing it, right? Maybe you suffer from depression or some other mental condition, we'll say. And that can rob you. Yeah, it's a big thief. Depression is a big, big thief, you know. So the thing is, you gotta just tell yourself, can I do this? When you say, can I do this, instead of, I need to do this, you're rewiring your brain. Your brain goes into problem-solving mode instead of whatever mode you want to call that, where it considers things like how big mountains are and how deep the Grand Canyon is and how fixed in time and space everything is, all settled. Yeah, she's biting me. She's biting me because she loves me. She loves the way I taste. I wasn't going to be able to think with her nibbling at the back of my leg the whole time, so I figured I'd show you, you know, cat. Everybody loves cats. And as soon as I sit her down, she's probably going to start running around and trilling and running with her brother and making noise, and you're going to hear that. So I'm going to make no effort to cut that out. Anyway, well, brother's in between my feet too. Let's get into these toys. The first one, well, let's open this one. I got this at Borges Toys and Collectibles in Anderson, South Carolina. The state in which I live, but that is not the town in which I live. And I've been wanting one of these. I was going to compare with the other Origins Mantenna, but he is way over there, and I'm not going to walk out of camera frame to go get that, and I have no assistant, so it's going to stay over there. You know what he looks like. Here's a picture of him. That's the regular Mantenna. This is the Cartoon Collection Mantenna, and I am actually going to open him up right now. I got him because his box is damaged. It's got this tiny little groove going down the back where it was cut. Probably getting it out of its shipping container or whatever. And I got this extremely cheap, which you can do if you go to toy stores like that. Like ones that trade, you know, new and loose toys, right? Okay. So let's open up our Mantenna and see what he's all about. Again, I hate to really destroy these cards. Maybe I should just start cutting this art off and keeping it somewhere. I don't know. I have OCD, so. The remove and swap parts sheet. There are his removable pieces. The ones that are easily removable anyway. I have actually done some research, and it was said that the legs up into the hip joints there are made to be removed, but they're made in such a way that you have to work a little harder to get them out of there, like hot water or something. Usually it's hot water or hair dryer. I would like to feel confident enough to snap my legs out of the hips and replace them and all that, but I just don't. I just don't have that in me. Here's the comic, which is, I guess, all right. I kind of don't dig this style, even though I'm a fan of the cartoon, right? So I should be okay with anything. But yeah. And this one, I don't know. Of course, good shall always prevail. That's what happens in your run-of-the-mill She-Ra comic. And while the evil horde were initially intended to be a villain or set of villains for He-Man, they ended up being used for She-Ra. And I don't have my special little cutting tool right now, so I'm just gonna have to use good old trusty old shin cutting X-Acto blade. Some of these little tabs, I think, have actually poked down into the plastic. So what I like about this Mantenna, and the Origins one as well, is that his legs are now separated. The two pairs of legs. A lot of people forget that old school Mantenna, he had two legs, but if you looked, the sculpt, those two legs were two smaller legs smashed together. Okay, take a look. Separate legs. Separate legs. You got separate legs, Lieutenant Dan. Got a little dusty too. He's pretty dusty. Let me clean that off. Very dusty. My public display. Actually, his card is crappier than the one I just destroyed. But, I mean, this Mantenna is scarier. Right? He's scarier. He's pretty cool, though. I like the way he's built. I like everything about that. But we've got this Mantenna. Whoa! 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 Wait a minute. I mean, come on. I am not scared of this guy, but if this guy were in a dark alley, I kind of might go the other way. But this guy? Yeah, no. He's so skinny. Does his... Yes, it does. He is like very narrow as far as these He-Man figures go. Even his arms are kind of small. So if you were going to make... let's say you wanted to make another character in this universe, but you don't want him to be ripped like this, then you could use this torso and arms. You can't use the hands unless your character is also a Ninja Turtle, but you could use this torso and arms. And I bet if you learn how to pop these legs out of joint properly, you could probably use the legs too, right? You could, because they're really interesting, right? You got some with fins and some without, but I mean, yeah, that's it. That's Mantenna. We like Mantenna. We like the Horde. We like the evil Horde. The ineffective Horde who can't take Etheria from a bunch of munchkins, a terrible sorceress, and She-Ra. So, okay, so next, this one I waited and waited for. He finally came. It is the new Etheria Masterverse Eternia He-Man. And the thing is, I think this thing is already going for like almost $60 plus. Like, I've seen it higher than that in certain places. And I got him for like, we'll say a little bit more than $30. But he's easily a $50 figure. You could resell him for that. But I am not going to do that. And this is the only one I have. But I am going to open him now and take him out. So there's the box. I think I have pictures of the box as well. I'm going to start using more, you know, instead of trusting the light to be correct in my camera shot, show you a really good production level image, commercial level image of the package. So I'm going to open this up. Maybe I'll get another one. I'm sure I won't get it cheap, but maybe I'll get another one just to have in a box. Now, when I think about it, though, I don't really have any Masterverse that I've left in the box. And the only way you're going to get Masterverse from now on is to order them directly from Mattel, because they are not going to be sold in stores anymore. Nope. They're doing away with Masterverse to make way for the new line of figures that are actually cheap, which I might review on this channel. They're about $10 a piece. but they're all based on the new movie that's about to come out. So yeah, and you know what? Here's my thoughts on this movie. I spent a long time, ever since it was first announced, I spent a long time thinking I was going to hate this movie. They were going to do it wrong. You know, it's one of those things that are kind of hard to do right, you know? But you know what? I watched the trailer, and I like what I saw. And if you're up in arms over He-Man's or Adam's work desk and his nameplate on the work desk and the pronouns on there, then you obviously have no sense of humor. You can't see that as a joke, right? Like, his pronouns are definitely he, him. He-Man's pronouns are he. You don't get that? You don't get that? You're mad that that's there? I just don't. Unless the movie goes out of its own way to make more of a point about that kind of shit, then I don't see a problem with it. I really don't. And there's something else. Probably my autism, I don't know, but this sound, I hate it. I hate this sound. I do not like it. I do not like it. Wow, he feels light. He feels really light. Like, let's see, let me pick up another. Here's a Fisto Masterverse. Yeah, he feels a little, I don't know, a little less substantial. Where's one I haven't really altered? Here's a Sunman that I'm slowly turning into Cult of Beastman. Cult of Beastman. He worships Beastman. This isn't really Sunman. Sunman has wings and you know it. He's going to be something else. I'm not done with him yet, though. So, the anti-Eternia He-Man has, his harness has the 2000X sort of H. Although his is an H that's divided down the middle. And then he's wearing this weird helmet. Like, that's a screaming face. Let's see if we can take that off. Can we take that? Oh, really? No way. It's part of his head. Wait. I see it moving. How do I get this off of him? How do I get this off of him? The back seems completely molded to his... The back of it, look. The back of it seems completely molded to his head. See that? You can't get under that. Yet on the front, it moves. So, what's the dealio? Oh! The whole thing comes off, hair and all. Hair and all. So, that means this guy, you get this guy. Which is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, pretty cool. See? There's this guy. You could do a lot with just this head. I'm going to start buying these heads. You can do a lot with just this head. So I'm going to go ahead and guess. Also, I'm going to guess there's another head in the box. His skin has this iridescent rainbow sort of oil in the sun quality to it that I don't think is really coming through on this camera. Let's see what happens if I get it over here in the light some more. Can you see it? Can you hear the cats running and smashing into cardboard? I can. So, okay, so he's got that. I mean, everything else is the same, except for his loincloth is extremely flippy-floppy. It's actually a better piece of clothing from his universe, I guess you could call it. It's better than just hair, right? I mean, there's some hair there and there, but this is fabric supposed to be, right? I like it. And it's different from Where's a good, here we go. It's different from this anti-Eternia He-Man, right? See? There's, his harness is black. And this guy's harness is red. And I think in an earlier version, like there's a vintage style anti-Eternia He-Man that was out there years ago, but it's only sold in like foreign markets, but it has a red harness and stuff like that. Okay, so that's a head. Here is a bloody crystal power sword. I don't know if that's supposed to be a crystal or fire. Maybe it is fire. I don't know. And then here's the laser sword, because obviously this He-Man killed a space He-Man from another dimension. Then here's what's supposed to be his power sword, or sword of power, which I don't really buy. This doesn't look like my power sword. Let's see what's in the little doohickey, a little bag. We got a shield. Ooh, that's nice. That is nice. Look at that pearlescent quality. That is nice. And on the back, you have slots for all your weapons. So he can quick draw his weapons. This looks like it goes on the left arm. So yeah, he can quick draw all his weapons. I don't know if they have specific slots, but I'm going to pick. You hear any Jawas? If you hear Jawas mumbling, it's my black cat named Simon. River is his sister, and they chase each other around the house. And then sometimes he acts frustrated, which I can understand, right? She's a little smaller. She's faster. He's big and slow. He gets mad. So here's some hair, which you could color this hair any color you wanted. You put it on He-Man's head, fits perfectly. This is a cool, even though he's light, he's not as substantial in the chest, I think. He just feels a little hollow. He feels really like about a quarter of an ounce to half an ounce too light for my liking. But do I like this figure? Yes. Do I like this sculpt? Yes. I like everything about this figure. He is everything I expected him to be. Even has a cool facial expression. Get out of my face. I want to take your power of Grayskull for my own. Yeah, so I wonder if I could put this hair on the robot head. Let's try it. This is a head from Faker, the Masterverse Faker, but I have it on my Origins Doctor Doom style character. He even has a hood. Yes. So let us take this hair and bequeath it upon the brow of this Faker. Look at that. Faker hair. I like that. I really like that. That's nice. I wish a lot more characters would come apart in a similar way like that. That is stinking world-ending anti-Eternia He-Man. Do I like the figure? Yes. Was it worth what I paid for it? No, of course not. None of these pieces of plastic are worth what you pay for them, no matter what that price is. But, you know, I always endeavor, because, you know, I'm kind of poor, to not pay a whole lot for these, right? Most of the stuff I have I got from trading or finding something on sale somewhere. Like I personally had one or two and they sold them, you know. And if you're patient, you can do that. Now, I do have something coming when it is released the upcoming Queen Marlena. Queen Marlena toys. I say toys because I have two. And I will open one, and I'm going to give one away. It's going to become a prize, or I don't like to use the word prize because a prize implies that you have a fair chance of winning it, but you don't, okay? It's an award. And awards aren't given out because of random number generations or whoever was the 500th one or whatever. I award you these things because you impress me with your stories and your writings about Masters of the Universe. That's usually my requirement. Write me about Masters of the Universe. I might as well go ahead and say now, the first day of spring, which I didn't remember what the date is. I'll look it up before I publish this video and put it right here. That's the date. That's the first day of spring. And that is when you and I will meet online to have these prizes, these awards given out. I'm only going to give away two things, okay? 2 figures. However, I will give you a selection, right? All the ones that I was trying to offer for Christmas, all these figures, that figure, that figure, that figure. I think it's 4 figures, 5 figures. And I'm only going to have 2 winners, I guess, is for lack of a better term. 2 worthy viewers. I also have to say something. Good news, right? I'm continuing this channel. I came up to the door of quitting and knocked. I was going to stop because I didn't think anyone was watching. But what I found out was every time I make a video, I need to make a short associated with that video. And not only do I need to put that short on YouTube, but I should put it on TikTok as well, because it wasn't until I put it on TikTok that I got enough subscribers to break that 50 subscriber threshold. That means people saw it and watched and responded, even if it's all they want to do is collect some toys, some free toys, right? And I'm going to try to mix in a little bit more philosophy into this channel. Instead of starting a new channel dedicated to that, I'm going to do this whole what's Bob Ross sort of approach. Don't you just love little He-Man? Don't sometimes you feel fake like that? Don't you sometimes feel there's this big mean giant just making you do things you don't want to do? You know, it's that kind of approach. Even though I get lost in the toys and I forget the philosophy part, and that's okay, because it's Zen that I'm trying to teach you anyway. So you might think, well, why did you leave it right there? Why did you stop talking about it right just then? Zen. A Zen teacher isn't going to teach you anything. And if you were to ask him, what's the secret, or what am I supposed to learn? He isn't going to say anything to you if he's one of those masters. And that's a weird term. There's no such thing as a Zen master, really. There's a person you would call a master, but he's not your master. He's not a master of anything, and he shouldn't claim to have mastered Zen because it's impossible. Even talking about it ruins it, really, you know? It's a thing you do naturally, and you did it when you were a baby, and you learned not to do it because things were added to your brain that block your view, that block that inner eye. Just walls and walls of weight and stupid ideas that have no bearing on reality. None at all. That you shouldn't take seriously. And the fact that you do, we all do, creates your misery. Whatever misery, that flavor of misery you might be having. It's usually because of something you're attached to, an idea. And when I say attachment, I don't mean attached like your kids, you're attached to your kids. No, that's different. That's love. I'm saying attached in like a surgical, you're attached to a heavy thing that's weighing you down. And the only thing you need to learn is how to let go of things. There's nothing new to add up here. There's nothing you can learn. There is no secret. Okay? There's nothing a Zen teacher's going to teach you. He's just going to put you through a bunch of hurdles until you get tired of it. And you realize there's nothing he could have taught you to begin with. There is only things you have to let go of. Okay? So that's all. That's where I'll leave that one for this installment. So next thing, here is the new Keldor figure. And I'm so happy I got this before they stopped making them. Hopefully I'll get another one to keep in the box. Because there are a few Masterverse I do want to keep versions of in boxes. Like I do have a vintage collection Skeletor unopened, but I also have one that I've opened, and I have one or two to give away to you guys. But let's open this Keldor, okay? And I mean, some people don't even like the idea of Keldor, and I don't understand that. I realize that the original idea behind Skeletor was that he was a demon from another dimension, a dimension where everybody has a skull head, but it makes a lot more sense that he's just a guy with a curse. I like that better. That he's maybe even got this Darth Vader quality where he's redeemable, right? Anybody that watched that Christmas episode knows what I'm talking about. I mean, you really like him, don't you? When I was a kid, of course I didn't like him. I didn't like the bad guys. I couldn't appreciate the art that went into the bad guys' characters because of the autism. Everything's cut and dry, black and white with me. But then one day, when I was in high school, I rediscovered, this was like 1994, I rediscovered Star Wars because they put out on VHS, digitally remastered, A New Hope and Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. And upon that second watching, I learned to like Darth Vader. And I was like, hey, I can like bad guys. It's okay. I'd like to think that Keldor is He-Man's uncle, and he's redeemable. He hasn't redeemed himself yet, but he is possibly redeemable. I don't want to feel good. I want to feel evil. So, yeah. Now this figure feels heavier. It's got that, just a little extra something in the weight that I can sense with my hand. I can tell there's something more there. I don't know why Eternia guy, He-Man, is lighter. I don't know why he feels lighter, but he does. He just feels a little lighter, and I don't know why that is. It could have something to do with the type of plastic, this black plastic they used. That could be it, that could be it. Now, this armor is pretty cool. I dig it. I don't even know what you'd call it armor, really. Oh, that pops off. All right. Are there pegs for that? Oh, snap. Literally. I have to snap that back in there because that's what's holding the cape on. The cape has two holes in these little tabs. It has two holes, and these little shoulder guards have two posts which go down in those two holes. I don't know why there are two. There could just be one, like this cape that goes to the Horde Prime Trooper. One hole. So like Keldor, hood comes right off, completely usable on another figure if you make customs. Like this would make a great, let's say you wanted to make a custom figure that's not even in this universe. Let's say you wanted to make the Spectre from DC. Well, here, you don't have to do anything to this hood. But if you wanted to make someone else, you could color it. So this Keldor head is awesome. I like it. Very detailed hair sculpt. Very detailed face. However, I don't really like the way the light's falling on him, so yeah, very detailed. I dig it. Dig it a lot. And so we're gonna pop his head off. He's also got this bent up sword. That's what happens when they smash it in there and put too much pressure on it. I have to bend it the other way to fix it. You know, a little handling, a little bending. Look at that. Oh, the memory. You can see the memory coming back. It's slowly bending back. So all you gotta do is go against the memory. Fight that memory. Let's see what's going on with this. He's got, okay. He's got one bad eye, one good eye. His skin's falling off. So I'm going to go ahead and forward a guess that the Gar, which is the race, if you don't know, that's the race that Keldor comes from. And if you want to follow the lore of the 2000X cartoon, the Gar have lived on Eternia for a long time, and they crashed there in a spaceship a long time ago, and they have formed their own country, and they're very insular. They're kind of like Klingons. They don't really, kind of like if you mix Klingons and elves together. They do magic, they have technology, but they don't really mess with humans so much. They don't trust humans. They don't like anybody. They're kind of buttholes that way. But the Gar have green skulls under their blue skin. Greenish yellow skulls. So whatever the curse was, it just removed his skin. Which is not the way I like to think about it, actually. I like to think of the curse as he's got a normal face. It's just that you can only see a skull. He comes across to your eyes as a skull, but that's not really what's there. He has a regular face, right? Which would explain things like how he could eat. You know, because if it was just a skull, it would just fall out right there, like through his jaw. He didn't really have a throat to swallow anything. Maybe Skeletor doesn't even need to eat. And if he has no needs like that, then why would he want stuff, right? Wouldn't he just be some kind of Zen priest in a cave somewhere? But yeah, I like his clothing. I like his boots. You see a precursor to Skeletor's little, I can't remember what these little battle skirt things are called, but like here's another one that came on a different character, but I put it on this Cult of Skeletor character that I've created out of a Vecna head and Keldor armor, and this armor comes from the 4-pack Battle for Eternia, and this body with its exposed toes was the Ninja He-Man from Turtles of Grayskull. I think that was Ninja He-Man from Turtles of Grayskull. Anyway, do I like this Keldor? Oh yeah. Do I care for this green and white? Not really, but what am I going to do about it? Nothing. I do like the sculpt. I like the hood. I like you know, everything about this. I like Keldor. Some people just don't like him though because he's not part of the original idea of He-Man. But if we were going to go that route, just about everything about He-Man that was originally planned was bad. I submit to you all of the mini comic versions of the toys, characters, and stuff. I can't think of any mini comic version of any of these characters that I actually like. Did I buy them? Yes. To make into other characters because they're cheaper than their counterparts, right? Like, mini comic Trapjaw is now cheaper than regular Trapjaw. When he first came out, he wasn't. But if you're going to make like Fuerza T guys, like I'm doing, from Fuerza T, if you're going to do that, then you're going to need some Trapjaw bodies. Some arms, and you're going to need some Fisto arms. And anyway, so has there even been one Masterverse figure I didn't like? I think the one I like the very, very least is the new Eternia Fisto. As far as playing with it goes, it's perfect for sitting on your shelf and never touching it. But like, the new Eternia Fisto, you can't do very much with his Fisto arm. It won't. You can't even do this with it. It's too bulky. The armor's too bulky to even bend his elbow. His elbow's about like that. It never bends any further than about like that. So, can you be a warrior with a stiff arm like that? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. So we got He-Man and Eternia He-Man, all his stuff right here. And we got Mr. Keldor and all his stuff right here. I have to keep these things separate until I can bag them up. Right. Okay, so one more thing to open. Then I'll let you go. I bought this, I don't know. I thought it was lost in the mail. This is a loose figure. This looks like I got it from Mattel, but I didn't. If I had, it probably would have been a little cheaper, but I got this off eBay, loose. So it was like a third of what people are charging for it. Resellers anyway are charging for it like new. And it was complete, so I jumped on it. I mean, it's so complete. The only thing about this that was not new about it, because I've already opened it, and you saw me cut the tape, that's merely for your benefit. Yeah, the only thing that really wasn't in a new state about this Moss Man was the fact that he's not tied to the backing card, which helps me, actually. Now, here's something I want to show you. I've bagged up his stuff, but this little toy right here, this magic bow, is the exact same mold for the Dungeons and Dragons Hank Toys magic bow. It's the same thing. I could go over there and get it, but I don't feel like it right now. I want to hurry up and finish this video. Yeah, I wanted this Moss Man. Oh yeah, I wanted this. Was he a new Eternia? No, he's just a Masterverse. Oh yeah, he is a new Eternia Moss Man. Okay, he's the new Eternia Moss Man, unlike Mr. Ent from Lord of the Rings feat. Tree Moss Man. Mr. Moss Man. Not bad, but like I'm kind of against the three fingers thing. I'm over it. Body, it's not bad. I don't hate it. He's hard to stand up though. This Moss Man means business. He's all about some. Look at that face. He is not gonna let you litter in his forest. It ain't happening. Ain't happening, Captain. Got this cool beat you to death seed club, which I'm sure if he stabs it into the ground will grow into a giant plant monster. Got some cool armor. I mean, little pieces of armor all around him, which kind of emulate the old Beastman copy armor, but not really, you know. And he's got this cool dagger on his hip, which comes out. If I could get a hold of it. Yeah, it comes out because he came with one of these. This tiny little bastard sword. That's not a swear. That's an actual type of weapon. It's called a bastard sword. It's a little bit longer than that, but yeah, he got 5 fingers. He's got 5 fingers. I love this character, and of course he is heavy. He is very heavy. He has a lot to him. Most of this is just armor. This comes right off. That's not part of the mold. Underneath it, he's a beast man, is what he is. He's one of the beast men bodies, because you can just tell by looking at it. What they're hoping was meant to be hairy, you will read as mossy, and that's why they added the leaf armor, which also is very reminiscent of Japanese leaf. Actually, those were rain ponchos that you see some of those samurai wearing. The leaf armor. It's not armor. It's to keep the rain and sun off of them. But I like him. I like him a lot. probably the most out of these 3 new characters. 4 if you count Origins Mantenna. So that's it for my new toys. I'm very happy about them all. I'm going to find a place to stick them. And if I don't, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You'll find that on your particular level of the multiverse, if you want to see it that way, actually on all levels of the multiverse, your particular point in the cosmos, in space-time, your position in life, all of it, is part of what the scientists are now starting to tell you is a simulation, an illusion of stuff. I mean, science has been starting to tell us this too. Like, when they try to get down smaller and smaller and see what the stuff is made of, they find there's just space there. There's just space. You know? All the stuff is programmed. All the atoms are programmed to hold shapes which we will rectify in our minds as stuff, different types of stuff. None of it really matters. Now, that's not to say that you should go out and rob banks and burn churches and do nasty, evil things. No. You're still supposed to try to spread kindness and safety and good feelings and good things, even if you never received those things yourself. You know what they are. It is yours. You could say it's your responsibility, but that's a little bit of a heavy word. You don't have to do anything. All you really have to do is to keep experiencing things, whatever they are. Experience them. Because one day, somebody is going to need all that information. And that somebody is probably also you. But that's for another discussion. Thanks for tuning in. And just remember that you have always had the power.